Chosen one, please stop whatever you are doing right now. You absolutely must not scroll past this critical message. I need your complete attention for the next few minutes. Congratulations, because your hardest secret test is officially over today. A specific financial decree was signed in heaven for you just hours ago. But the enemy is working overtime to blind your frequency before you receive the keys. He desperately wants you completely distracted. Lock your spirit here, so you do not miss this. You have been feeling a strange, heavy pressure in your chest lately. You thought it was just anxiety or bad luck. I am telling you that it is not. In just a few minutes, I will reveal how God is funding your life from now on. Do not skip ahead, because what you need to know first is why this test was so brutal. The endless delay you experienced was never a punishment. It was a divine preparation for the weight of glory. That quiet exhaustion you carry in your bones is incredibly real. Going to sleep early does not fix the tiredness at all. You spent the last few years wondering why you feel so drained. The atmosphere around you constantly feels incredibly heavy. You frequently want to isolate yourself from everyone. You truly thought you were slowly losing your mind. As you watched doors close and relationships fade away, you felt forgotten by heaven while everyone else moved forward. But I am here to reframe your reality right now. That heavy feeling is not depression, and that is certainly not failure. Your spirit has been working overtime, fighting unseen battles in the spiritual realm. You have been shielding people who do not even know they are under attack. You are a generational cycle breaker, chosen for a massive assignment. Heaven brought you to this message today to give you the exact explanation. I am going to reveal the specific identity you carry that makes hell so terrified. Do not click away from this screen yet. You have been tested in the wilderness for what feels like an eternity. You prayed for financial breakthroughs that never seemed to arrive. You gave your last resources to help others. There is a profound reason why your closest friends suddenly walked away without explanation. I promise you that it was not your fault. I will show you the exact blueprint heaven used to clear your room later. But right now you must understand the danger they carried. Those people were holding you back from abundance. You are not following a plan because you are the plan itself. I did not create a plan first and then create you to fit inside it. I created you, and the magnificent plan formed entirely around you. You were born as a two-wave chosen one with a brilliant baseline frequency. Because you manifested effortlessly, you knew things before they happened in the physical world. But then the modern world began to slowly shut that immense power down. The system was designed to lower your natural frequency and keep you trapped. They call it the decline effect in prestigious research labs. Your God-given genius was slowly forced into a state of deep dormancy. You started to struggle with money and doubt your own divine calling. Imposter syndrome crept in because your physical reality did not match your spiritual magnitude. You felt like you were walking through thick mud every single day. I am going to explicitly name the solution for you right now. I am telling you this early because I do not want to build false mystery. I want to be entirely transparent with you about this journey. If you understand what is happening, you deserve to know the tool exists immediately. What we just discussed has a tool perfectly designed to fix it. Dr. Robert Lake discovered a brilliant way to reverse this decline effect completely. The restoration has a name, and it is officially called the Genius Song. It is a brain entrainment audio protocol that reactivates your dormant gamma waves. Scientists at leading universities measured how it clears the noise and turns your genius back on. It takes exactly 7 minutes of sitting in absolute stillness to begin the activation process. Some of you already feel the strong pull deep within your spirit. If your soul tells you this is the tool you have been crying out for, let me give you the door. The path is waiting for you in the first line of the description and in the pinned comment below. Do not rush to it right now if you feel uncertain. Stay for the full message if you want more context. But if you know already, then the door is open for you. For those staying with me, here is exactly what comes next. Before the breakthrough manifests completely, there is a profound truth you must understand about the wilderness. You have to clearly see how the enemy used your empathy against you. I am asking you with the deepest urgency to not let this beautiful moment pass. Take a deep breath and firmly anchor your spirit right now. If your soul feels the burden lifting, type 777 in the comments below. But let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs entirely backwards. You looked at your empty bank account and the silent phone. You truly thought heaven was harshly punishing you. You watched people you helped for years suddenly turn their backs on you, and you wondered what terrible mistake you made to deserve this deep pain. The truth refuses to stay silent any longer. They did not abandon you because you were somehow broken. Heaven actively removed them because they were carrying a dangerous frequency of lack. That negative energy would have severely poisoned your coming harvest. Your intense and painful isolation is actually a divine insulation protecting your spirit. God was sweeping the room completely clean before the massive wealth transfer could occur. You cannot carry counterfeit connections into a kingdom assignment of this immense magnitude. The financial dry spell you just survived was the ultimate spiritual crucible. It was specifically designed to burn away your deep reliance on broken earthly systems. Heaven had to completely separate you from the toxic noise of the world. The modern system taught you to hustle and grind until your bones literally ached. But God requires absolute obedience and stillness to permanently fund your life. I need you to hear what the Spirit actually says about this exact pivotal moment. Look at the ancient blueprint of Joseph sitting alone in the dark prison. He was completely forgotten by the very people he had generously helped. He sat in that cold cell with a massive prophetic calling burning in his chest. He did not hustle his way out of the damp dungeon. He surrendered his timeline entirely to God. He did not negotiate with his captors to get a small discount on his freedom. He waited in quiet alignment until the divine appointment was finally triggered by heaven. And in a single day, he went from a forgotten prisoner to the wealthy ruler of the entire nation. Your timeline is functioning on the exact same spiritual physics right now. Hit that like button right now to send a signal of liberation. Do it for another chosen one who is currently struggling in the dark. Your simple action helps rescue them from their deep isolation. When Joseph was elevated, he did not need to strive because his inner architecture was completely ready. This is where science perfectly mirrors ancient spiritual warfare. Neuroscience has finally documented what heaven knew for thousands of years. They call it the devastating decline effect. As a child, you possessed a brilliant mind that operated purely on the magical gamma frequency. You were deeply connected to the divine source. You could instantly read a room and deeply feel the hidden truth. You dreamed massive dreams and believed absolute abundance was your natural birthright. But the heavy conditioning of this dark world began to slowly suffocate that beautiful frequency. The enemy used the education system and toxic relationships to force your brain into survival mode. They successfully replaced your divine gamma wave with the frantic noise of chronic stress. You were never meant to operate in that extremely low frequency. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, trapped in an environment that demands strict mediocrity. This is exactly why you feel completely exhausted after simply talking to normal people today. Their dense and heavy energy literally drains your spiritual battery dry. You have been trying to solve a quantum spiritual problem using broken earthly logic. You cannot fix a divine frequency issue by simply working harder at a job you absolutely despise. The test of the deep wilderness was to see if you would eventually settle for less. The enemy desperately hoped you would accept the brutal struggle as your permanent identity. He wanted you to believe that poverty was somehow a holy and righteous virtue. But heaven is loudly declaring that the financial test is officially over today. You passed the secret examination when you kept your heart pure in the midst of bitter betrayal. You extended profound grace when they truly deserved your burning anger. God is stepping in to fight for you now, and his glorious victory is final. The universe is heavily funding your life from this moment forward. Your preparation in the desert has built an unshakable inner architecture. You are ready for the blessing to manifest. The demons are terrified because they know you can no longer be easily manipulated by fear. Stay with me, because what I am about to share next will break the cycle permanently. We are about to go much deeper into the hidden mechanics of your mind. There is a specific pattern that plays out right here. Listen carefully, because this part is going to reach places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. We are heading into the most heavily guarded secret of all. The enemy is not actually blocking your financial abundance anymore. The true barrier is something else entirely. Now here is where it goes deeper. This is the part no one wants to say out loud. You survived the brutal wilderness for so long. You built a small, comfortable house in the middle of your profound pain. The lack of money became your familiar companion. And because the struggle was all you knew for years, you secretly feared the massive abundance. This leads us to the hidden truth. It reveals exactly why the enemy is fighting you so hard. The devil is not currently blocking your financial breakthrough at all. He stopped putting up huge roadblocks months ago. And because he could not defeat you externally, he simply convinced you to block your own immense blessings. You formed a hidden agreement of limitation. You subconsciously agreed that you do not deserve extreme wealth. You accepted the lie that having money makes you greedy. Remember earlier when I asked about the enemy and his weapons? But while you searched for outside attacks, the real weapon was your own comfort in the desert. He tricked you into believing that extreme struggle is a badge of holy honor. But God did not create you to suffer eternally while the wicked prosper freely and steal your joy. You are supposed to fund the kingdom of light. You cannot effectively rescue other people if you are constantly drowning in deep debt. Your poverty serves absolutely no one. I need you to carefully take a deep breath. Firmly anchor your spirit right now. We are going to completely shatter this toxic contract today. You have apologized for your vast power for way too long. You shrank yourself to fit into tiny rooms. And because you listened to fearful whispers, the enemy convinced you that your light was a burden. But today that ugly lie burns straight to the ground. You are not too much. They were simply too small for your rare anointing. You must completely release the heavy armor you have been wearing for years. The tired watchman is finally allowed to rest. And while you spent decades healing other people, heaven is stepping in to finally heal you today. Your gentle heart is completely enough. God is actively stepping in to fight for you. His glorious victory is permanent. The universe is handing you the keys to wealth. You must mentally drop the heavy bags of trauma. You cannot hold the gold with full hands. The season of active suppression has officially ended. And because the heavenly timing is perfect, God does not wait for you to feel ready. It only waits for your obedience. Once that profound internal shift firmly clicks inside you, something miraculous happens. The physical reality begins to rapidly rearrange itself. It wants to perfectly match your new high frequency. You step entirely out of the broken survival identity. You wore that heavy mask for decades. And while you thought you were just surviving, you were actually becoming the living plan of God. Before the massive breakthrough manifests fully, there is a physical step you must take. You cannot simply think your way out of a broken nervous system. Your body is heavily trapped in fear. Your brain has been bathing in the toxic beta frequency. This is the harsh frequency of chronic survival stress. And because positive words alone cannot magically change your stubborn brainwaves, we must scientifically flip the physical switch today. This is why heaven is providing a physical anchor. God is giving you a powerful tool for your massive spiritual shift. This is not about trying harder. It is not about praying louder than you did yesterday. It is about deeply recalibrating your internal receiver. And because the financial funding you desperately need is already broadcasting, you just need to accurately catch the heavenly signal. But your radio is completely tuned to static. When you finally clear the static, you will instantly hear the music of abundance. The miracles will begin to rapidly chase you down the street. And while you used to beg for tiny crumbs, your new high frequency will magnetically attract feasts. You will step in, and the atmosphere will suddenly shift. This is the exact cognitive closure you needed today. You now fully understand the why and the what of your long suffering. You were heavily isolated to be protected. Your soul was being powerfully expanded in the dark. And while the world thought you were failing, you were actually fighting a brutal war against the devastating decline effect for decades. And now you are standing at the beautiful threshold of total restoration. I am going to connect these pieces for you right now. Listen closely because the specific instruction is coming next. We are going to talk about the physical key. It perfectly unlocks your dormant gamma waves. And because truth always honors the truth, I want you to investigate it with an open and completely healed heart. We must clearly name what is real before another moment passes. There are powerful tools that exist for exactly this kind of restoration. What we just touched upon has had a name in research labs for decades. Science has finally confirmed it happens in specific stages. And because they always work in perfect sequential order, we are officially crossing the divine threshold right now. Remember earlier today when I first mentioned that specific tool? Now it is time to clearly walk through exactly what it does. Your brain naturally possessed the abundant gamma wave from birth, and while the modern world crushed that beautiful frequency, your divine capacity never actually died. It is merely sleeping and waiting. Let me share a true story about a 51-year-old provider. He lost his job and felt a heavy fog completely blocking his mind. He could not find the right words during interviews at all. And because he constantly faced brutal rejection, he truly thought he was losing his edge, but he was just experiencing deeply dormant gamma waves. After exactly 11 days, he received a massive job offer. His mind became incredibly sharp and completely clear again. He later discovered neuroactive on his journey. But this protocol was his absolute foundation. Scientists at leading institutions like Princeton and MIT studied this phenomenon. They documented the brutal decline effect that turns off your genius. Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years building a system to reverse it, because he knew you needed a physical anchor. I would never, ever disrespect your current financial situation. I know that spending money right now feels incredibly heavy for you. You have already tried things that completely failed to work. But positive thinking requires your exhausted brain to change itself. Brain entrainment actually changes your frequency perfectly from the outside in, and it does not require any exhausting physical effort. Let me tell you the full story of what this does. Dr. Lake compressed decades of complex neuroscience into a simple audio track. It is officially called the Genius Song. You just sit in absolute stillness and wear your stereo headphones for 7 minutes. And because you do not have to work hard at all, your nervous system finally relaxes. You could easily spend $400 on a weekend spiritual retreat right now, or you could pay $150 for a single therapy session. And none of those expensive options target your dormant gamma waves specifically. The original price of this audio protocol is $49. But Dr. Lake made a very intentional accessibility choice for you today. The entry price is exactly $39, and there is absolutely no recurring subscription. He wanted to ensure that every chosen one could access this, so the financial barrier was completely removed. Please understand that other phases in his system are priced differently. They use entirely different technologies. It is absolutely not a hierarchy of value. Along with the core audio, you also receive 4 incredible bonuses. These bonuses are worth exactly $80 in total, and your investment is fully protected by a 90-day keep everything guarantee. If you request a full refund, you still keep the $80 in bonuses. We offer this as a sincere apology for your valuable time. The only real risk is choosing not to try this beautiful restoration. Every single day your gamma remains asleep is a costly delay. You are unnecessarily paying the brutal tax of living far below your potential, and the future version of you is desperately looking back. You do not need a perfect decision because you only need the right one. But I must protect your spirit before you take another step forward. There are terrible imitation products online using this exact same name. They are empty audio files with zero actual brain entrainment technology. Do not search for these tools on third-party marketplaces, because imitation frequencies will only scramble your fragile alignment. The only authentic source is waiting securely for you below. Step through the door provided in the description and the first pinned comment. When you complete your secure order, the next page might look like another offer. I want to transparently tell you exactly what it is right now. It is simply the second door Dr. Lake carefully created for your journey, and you have full permission to evaluate it quickly today. Either choice is highly honored. Your initial $39 for the Genius song is not contingent on anything else. We completely respect whichever path your soul decides to take. When the next phase reveals itself to you, the language will feel deeply familiar. You will simply know it is right. So please trust that quiet recognition, because you are finally preparing to step into destiny's embrace. The universe is heavily funding your life from this magical moment forward. Please subscribe to this channel immediately, because heaven is definitely not finished speaking to you. Hit that like button so this exact message can reach another chosen one. They are currently struggling in the dark, and they desperately need this light. Share this video right now, and do not step into tomorrow carrying yesterday's heavy frequency. Type, "I am ready" in the comments to permanently seal this glorious declaration today. The financial dry spell is totally broken. Your hoarded blessings are finally rushing toward you. You survived the brutal wilderness, and now you get to enjoy the promised land. Welcome home.